Hi there, welcome back to the Purple House. Piet and Grade here, and today we want to shine the light on children and children's behaviors that is often misdiagnosed or treated the wrong way. Every week we listen to stories from parents who come to us who have trouble with their children, and Piet and I can relate to that because many years ago we were parenting 6 children, and then we have many grandchildren who have since grown up as well. So today we want to help you understand what goes on in children's bodies and how diet is very, very important when it comes to the behavior or really the full potential of your child.
We do have to, if our child is misbehaving, we really have to blame ourselves because of what we feed them, really.
A lot of the time that's the case. Like the majority of the time, we do have to look at the diet because your diet or what goes into the tummy affects the brain. And Dr. David Perlmutter, he wrote the best-selling book, Grain Brain. He pointed out what happens to the brain immediately as soon as like the child eats carbohydrates or sugary products, or even like bread that turns into sugar in the body.
Any high starch carbohydrate, so any grain will turn to a lot of sugar. The flour from one slice of bread will turn to 6 teaspoonfuls in our body.
And the body can only handle 1 teaspoon at a time, 4 teaspoons a day. That's an adult. So a child can probably only handle 2 teaspoons a day, spread out over the day. So Dr. David Perlmutter, he also did scans, and he could see how the brain is immediately affected by what the child eats. Not just 2 hours later, right? Within minutes, it has an effect on the brain. So if you have a child or a grandchild, or you know somebody, and you realize something isn't quite right, you get a sense something is off with this child. She or he wasn't like this a year ago, and maybe the concentration is slipping, or their teeth grinding at night, not sleeping well, not concentrating well, they have an attitude, you name it. This can all be healed, or it can be corrected with the right guidance. The majority of it can be. If we can't help a child, we will immediately tell the parents, don't get us wrong. We don't want to waste your time or our time. So recently a little girl came to us. Her name was Harper, and she was a lovely, bright little 5-year-old or 6, something like that. And both the parents and the teachers noticed how her behavior was, got worse and worse. She was cranky, she was defiant, not her normal self. And when she came to us, we discovered the foods that she was sensitive to. So that is also something that we do, Pete?
Yeah.
We can check in with the body and give you a list of the foods that are an absolute no-no, that will always make your child's behavior worse, no matter what. And also,
it's not saying that they're allergic to them, but they have a sensitivity to those foods that irritate the body. Yeah.
Because a lot of the time when we see behaviors in children, it's actually an autoimmune reaction that's going on in the body, and so the body is attacking its own tissues, even the brain, right? So this can all be relieved quite quickly. Often within a week you have a new child, sometimes 2 weeks. So that's what happened with Harper. Do you want to tell a little bit what happened, or do you want me to continue?
Well, the parents cut out the foods that we had recommended for just a period of time, and changed the fuel source from sugars to fats. Gave her
You have to explain, because if people are new to us, they don't know what fats are.
Well,
and what good fats are, so just tell us quickly.
Good fats, good animal fats, saturated fats. Butter, cream, coconut oil and meat fats are the saturated ones. The good runny oils, macadamia nut oil and olive oil to an extent.
Yeah, and coconut oil,
Yeah, coconut oil is the best saturated fat you can find. Saturated fats are really good because they also help close up the cell membranes, and your child will sleep a lot better with saturated fats.
And then the brain can restore its energy.
Yeah.
So she started to have more fats. The parents themselves did as well. and Harper became a new little girl. So we also suggested a few things that it's all in the article which are attached below, but BioRay are homeopathic drops that also help the body to detox, and it even says it on the bottle. It helps like crabby, cranky kids, restores peace and happiness. So there's one for younger children and one for older children.
Helps get rid of toxins.
Any kind of toxins.
Heavy metals and parasites.
I mean, we're all riddled with all of those because it's in today's world. We're exposed to it, and it definitely has an effect on the child. So we've had parents with kids on the spectrum, and they have started taking these, and they've become different kids. That's right. Their life is easier.
Yeah.
That's really what we want for you.
Easier. Yeah.
Easier, happier, more resilient, more resourceful, of course, so your child can reach its full potential, or at least, part of its potential, which is that's what every parent wants for their child. So with Harper, also the family was worried because they had IBS in the family, so irritable bowel syndrome, and they thought, perhaps this is the early onset with Harper, and they probably were right. They probably weren't wrong, that's really what I should say. Because 1 in 5 adults today has IBS or chronic tummy issues, so it's not even a genetic thing anymore per se. But of course, if it runs in the genes, you need to take extra care. So with Harper, her tummy issues improved. She did have tummy issues. We did see that during the consultation. Her tummy issues went away. Her behavior improved. They called their little girl back. And the teacher recommended more students to us because the teacher could see they had like a huge difference in Harper, so she started sending us students.
We had one little girl brought to us with undiagnosable belly aches. She was crying a lot, particularly through the night as well, and she had to lie on a cold floor to get rid of the belly aches. And it was, we recommended a antiparasitic, and her tummy aches disappeared.
That's right. So she probably had like parasitic overload for many years, and her headaches and belly aches did go away.
So having something to get rid of parasites on a regular basis every 2 or 3 months is probably a good idea for
very important.
every one of us.
And we do have things that we can recommend that are perfectly natural. So we're here to help you. So another really, really great product, of course, is the Mighty Means. We've been stocking these probably close to 20 years now. So we've seen many children benefit from the Mighty Means. What sets Mighty Means apart is that it's got a lot of the amino acids as well. So amino acids are the building blocks of the body, and then it's got minerals. That's why it's called Mighty Means. The
producers of it did a study actually, and they found with children who took the Mighty Means, the actual grades went up 1 or 2
or 3 times, like the academic grades. So that's all statistics, and these taste like a lolly. They come from the US, so they're called wafers. So kids actually do eat them like lollies, so it's very, very easy. And for 240 wafers, it's $75, which is a very, very good price. And then your child is getting all the foundational nutrients that it needs to grow and to thrive. Children need way more nutrients than we do because they're still growing and they're absorbing and they're learning. So they probably need 10 times the amount of nutrients.
Our couple of our grandsons, they lived on Vital in one. They used to call it their monster juice. Couple of teaspoonfuls of that in some yogurt, and that was a meal. That's a good meal. So we're talking about full cream yogurt, never buy skinny this or that or low carb. One of those boys, he would often come when he was a little fella, come in and he'd ask me, "Hey Pop, can I have some cream?" And I said, "Yeah, go for it, it's in the fridge." And he'd pour himself a glass full of cream and drink it. And I would think, beauty. He won't be asking for anything to eat for a long time because that will keep his energy nice and even all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Peter often explains the story when a baby is born, it's fed on breast milk ideally, which is the ideal food, helps the brain growth and all that. And so breast milk is nearly, what did you say, 75% saturated fatty
They're
fats.
making 75% of their energy from fats, from breast milk, and 55% of that is saturated fat.
Yeah.
So it's, that's what we're born to be on.
And then when babies are weaned, they start on grain straight away.
We make them sugar burners.
That's where the problem starts. So
not fat burners anymore.
Exactly. So if you're an adult or you have children, this applies to you, of course, if you're an adult. And if you're going down the other end of the spectrum, like you become an elderly person, you still have to do exactly the same because your body is still got the same needs. So
we're still human even if we're old.
The worst thing for your body, what are some of the worst things, Pete? Do you want to tell them or shall I say it?
Well,
I've got a list here, I can read it off.
One of the worst things is
sugary,
high starch carbohydrates. The sugar of fruit actually is a bad one.
And fruit juices. Don't waste your money on that.
And the bad runny oils, any
of the yellow oils.
Vegetable seed-based oils, they are toxic.
Very, very toxic. They put your immune system into a big shock, right? Your body can't handle it at all. You can use it as poison on your garden plants if you want to kill weeds. It literally is the same stuff as weed killer, so avoid those.
Artificial sweeteners like aspartame. I had a client one time, he was complaining he felt shocking every afternoon when he got home. And he was a truck driver and he would buy himself a can of Diet Coke and have it sip on the way home. And it heated up in the cab of his truck and it was aspartame.
Poisoning,
It's poisoning the brain.
So don't have anything with artificial sugar in it. So you have to be very, very cautious because 6,000 products on the supermarket shelf have a trace of aspartame and it rots your brain.
Even toothpastes.
I know, it's just really bad. All chewing gum, if you use those. Just be careful because aspartame, it was put in there supposedly as a slimming product, but it also makes you fat. So like the real research shows that it makes people fat because it's so toxic, it puts your body into shock. So that goes for all artificial sweeteners. Of course, alcohol is not good for children and not anyway. And then there's fish like high mercury fish. So people are big on fish oil and stuff, but often that's filled with mercury, which is so toxic to the brain. And then another thing, aluminium is also really toxic. So anything that's in aluminium cans, aluminium cookware, even the non-stick saucepans are absolutely shocking. You need to throw them out because so bad for your brain. So all the non-stick stuff.
And if your teenagers start using deodorants, which they nearly always do, make sure they've got aluminium free written on.
Because it goes straight into the lymphatic system, into your blood, thickens your blood, and it goes into your brain. And we all know that Alzheimer is partly caused by aluminium, right?
Over-the-counter antacids like Mylanta is full of aluminium, and it causes your red cells to start sticking together so they can't distribute the oxygen around the body properly.
Exactly. So it makes you very sick and dopey and you lose your marbles. All right, so the best thing, and we just have 4 simple steps. This is what Peter and I swear by is bone broth. We always got bone broth on the go. Also for our cafe or our kitchen.
When it's got enough oil and fat in it, so you leave that in the bone broth, you don't scoop it off and throw it away. A bowl full is a meal.
That's right. And in case you don't know, we do have a cafe here, the Purple House Kitchen. We're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's open now. It's like peak hour traffic right now. Lots of people are eating outside and inside, and it makes us feel really, really good. Peter and I, we quickly had some bone broth just now to charge us up for the afternoon. So we always have bone broth going, whether it's chicken bone broth or beef, and we try to get it from good, reliable sources. Bone broth heals your tummy from the inside out, and that also heals your brain. And then people often give us feedback. They often say we sleep so well and we just feel a lot better. It's also really, really good for IBS and the rest. So you can buy bones from the supermarket if you haven't got time to shop elsewhere, and then you just put it in like I've got 4 slow cookers, well actually 2 pressure cookers and 4 slow cookers, but you don't need that many. You just need 1 good pressure cooker, slow cooker that you can get from Harry's Cave or something like that. And it doesn't smell either. And then it cooks under pressure for 4 hours, and then it cooks itself again for another 4 hours on slow cook, and all the goodness out of the bones has gone into the broth, and we eat it. We strain it, but we keep the fat on there. And of course the bones, they go to the chooks. They love it.
It's one of the best gut healers there is
right.
bone broth.
And it's good for your bones too. Like we all have, we have to remember that our bones get weaker from age 20 onwards. So bone broth is really, really good for that as well. There was other things that we recommended, just simple meals, high fat, like lots of butter. Give your children slices of butter. We already said like full cream yogurt with a tiny little few like blueberries, organic blueberries, and lots of cream, or activated nuts, so that are nuts that you've soaked overnight. I can't even see my other recommendations. We often just have like a piece of meat with some fermented food. So fermented foods are also very, very important.
They're half digested before we eat them by the bacteria.
They are actually probably, I would almost say, fully digested, and they reseed your tummy with all the good bacteria that it needs, because our bacteria are being destroyed constantly from day to day, just from stress and other things that bombard us. So we have a tablespoon of fermented food like kimchi or sauerkraut every day with our evening meal with a piece of meat. So if you are a parent and wondering what to give your child, you can make meatballs like hamburgers, full fat mince, or full fat sausages, eggs and bacon. Eggs are really, really good, like
scrambled eggs particularly, because you can get a lot of cream and butter in.
So you don't need to think long and hard, because your child's tummy is only the size of its little hands. If you go like that, it's a bit hard to do. But this is the size of my tummy, right? My stomach, rather. And I only need to feel that 3 times a day. Well, of course, I don't even eat that much 3 times a day, but children are always hungry. So they need like a full fat version in one hand, like maybe a meatball or a protein ball that you can make with like mega powdered coconut oil, raw cacao, and so on. So we also teach you how to do all this in workshops. And we've got a fermenting workshop coming up in 2.5 weeks on Sunday. It's all in this article. And then in about 6 weeks there is an immune boosting workshop. They're run by Caleb. So check those out. And just simple meals, repeat, don't overthink it too much. What would be one? We have smoothies as well.
Yeah, smoothies with the vital oil in one, and a lot of cream, coconut oil, and full cream yogurt. And a glassful for me is a meal. It'll last from 7:30 to 2 or 3 o'clock.
And you get lots of good energy. It's not the sort of energy that fries your brain. It's good, steady energy.
It keeps the blood sugars down below 6, because every blood sugar above 6 is causing inflammation. So you need to get your energy out of good fats rather than sugars. And
That's
you'll you'll get rid of the inflammation out of your body.
Because actually bad behaviours are just a form of inflammation.
Yeah, inflammation of the brain.
Mm-hmm. So, and with children, luckily, they recover so quickly. They just bounce back when you start giving them the right thing. And then as a parent, you can relax a little bit better. So we can do all that. We can also, as I said, give you a list of what your child is sensitive to, which will be different to another child, because everyone is unique. We have all these little books available online in our website. So they're packed with information, and they're free ebooks. So multivitamins, regardless of what you do, I would always recommend multivitamins. These are like really good detox, so they get rid of all the toxins, and they're very safe. Everything that we recommend
one for kids
is safe.
and one for teens. Yeah.
We have worming and parasite cleanse, the Vital All-in-One, which contains all the good food that you need. Same as this, by the way.
You can go online and order them or call in. Enjoy a nice meal on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. That's when we see clients, and we're open with the cafe
9
as well.
to 5. Our cafe is closed on the weekends. It's open when the clinic is open, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have lovely support team here as well. They're here all day to answer your questions. You can talk to them on the phone as well. So the article is attached, so please share it with your loved ones. If you know somebody is struggling or pulling their hair out with the kids, go and share this article, because we feel for you and we respect all parents and we're here to support you. So Caleb, our son, he's also a master practitioner at the Purple House. He has seen his nieces and nephews grow up and do the same thing. And as I said, Caleb is also the teacher. He runs amazing hands-on workshops that are always very popular. So go ahead and check those out as well. We look forward to being with you soon. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful week. Till next time.
Bye.